Hi everyone. Hello out there. I'm Bishop John Ayatut and just want to talk a little bit more about the movie project that we're doing. The Queen of Sheba from the land of OPHIR. They always say it takes about 4 or 5 years before a really big movie, a feature film, uh, gets developed. That's what they have found out. So, because this movie project is really a huge project, and it's an epic historical movie about the old Queen of Sheba and then the modern Queen of Sheba. Of course, the Queen of Sheba thing is a biblical story or character that the Queen of Sheba visited King Solomon, and then she brought gold to him. And during the time of King Solomon, also he had what they call the gold of Ophir, 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 and I wrote the story back in 2019, November 2019. I had experience about writing script and story back in 1992 in New York when I had a casting agency, and I was a member of the Screen Actors Guild, and I was doing commercial voiceover. And that's when I had the experience of being involved with filmmaking. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, the Sleepless in Seattle thing when it was shot in New York. We were involved with it. So when I became a cabinet member of the Duterte administration in the Philippines in 2017, then I was involved with the Land Bank. I was the appointed director of Land Bank. And then I was being recommended to be a consultant to the Department of Tourism. That's when I thought about the story, the Queen of Sheba from the land of Ophir. At the time, there are a lot of videos on YouTube saying that the land of Ophir is the Philippines. The children of Noah, after the flood, migrated all over the world with their children. And Noah had 3 children, Shem, Ham, Japheth. And Japheth, they found out, migrated in Asia. And Japheth had a son named Joktan. And Joktan had sons, and the names are Ophir, Sheba, Tarshish. And then Ophir, Sheba, Tarshish inhabited the islands. And they have traced it out that it was the Philippines because Ophir, Ophir gold, called it the land of Ophir. In First Chronicles 14, it speaks about the land of Ophir, Ophir gold. So I thought of the story, the Queen of Sheba from the land of Ophir, that believing that the old Queen of Sheba, because the Bible says that it took 3 years for the ship to arrive in Jerusalem, was from the land of Ophir. So I thought of the story, the Queen of Sheba from the land of Ophir. It's an epic historical story. But the movie, because it's a story, it's not about the old Queen of Sheba. It's really about the modern Queen of Sheba. So the story goes that the modern Queen of Sheba is the daughter of a Christian woman who lived in Cebu. I had a foreigner father from Australia, and she looked very beautiful, and she was young, so the mother would call her my queen. And then they have like heard that Cebu and Sheba are the same place, so the mother began to call her daughter my queen of Sheba. That's the story in the movie. And so when they found out later, and this girl named Sheila, and we call the character is called Sheila Majanara, joined the National Beauty Contest, and so she was tagged as the Queen of Sheba from the land of OPHIR, because they found out that the Philippines has been found out that it's the land of OPHIR. So the story goes that when this Queen of Sheba won the National Beauty Philippines, Miss Philippines, then she joined the Miss Universe in Macau, China, and she won there too. So she was proclaimed as the Queen of Sheba from the land of OPHIR, which is from the Philippines. So the story is about this modern Queen of Sheba, a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young woman, very pretty. Really very, very pretty. So when she won as Miss Universe, she went around the world, and her advocacy was world peace, world harmony, and for the children and for the women. So she met a lot of world leaders, That's where she met the King of Jerusalem, King Ben David Solomon, King of Egypt, Anwar Ibrahim, King of England, all of that. The story goes. So when she went back to the Philippines, she asked the president of the Philippines, President Juan Iblamo, to call for a summit conference to be held in Beijing, China, because like when she became Miss Universe, the bachelor emperor in China, the story goes, fell in love with her, So he wants her to become his wife. So she calls the bachelor ambassador, shipping like, to be a host of the World Summit Conference. So the big gathering is in China for the World Summit Conference for world peace and harmony. So speakers were there. So then she would get called to the stage. She would be introduced as the Queen of Sheba from the land of OPHIR. That's one of the major scenes, So the movie would have like Chinese actors and actresses and Chinese productions. And then at that meeting, she would get to meet the son of the president of India, who spoke about the coming age of the robots, artificial intelligence, driverless cars, and all of that. So she got interested with it. So his name is Sunil Ahuja. So she planned to have a meeting in New Delhi. That's when the New Delhi, people will be there, actors and actresses in India and production group. And the purpose for this really is to draw crowds, and that China would be able to also help promote the movie, because they have 1 billion people, and India have 1 billion people, has 1 billion people. So our aim is to really expose this movie very, very big worldwide. And that's why the budget is really very big. It's $400 million. Yeah, it's a big budget. The Avengers Endgame of Marvel Studio that was released by Disney in 2019, the budget was $365 million. and it garnered the gross income of 2.7 billion. But it did not have like the scene of Beijing or New Delhi. And then one of the big scenes that I thought about, the Queen of Sheba would have like interview with the three billionaires in LA, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, part of the movie. So it's a historical documentary, epic style, and that's why the budget is really big. There's the reason for that, why the budget is big, because we really need to reach out at least 1 billion people to get to watch the movie, and it's possible because internet says there are around 3.7 billion people that use the internet, 3.7 billion. So it's about really promotion, but the thing is, will really get promoted. That's why we have to have a very big budget. But plus, we plan to get big actors, big directors. We plan to get like Steven Spielberg or James Cameron to direct the movie, and actors like Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Johnny Depp, Steven Seagal, and then Jennifer Lopez. And we have a big concert in Manila at the Carino Grandstand, free concert. It's live. It's going to happen live, where Jennifer Lopez and Bruno Mars and the BTS would perform. And then in that scene, in that concert, there would be a scene also similar to the Bodyguard of Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, where the singer would be killed. So the scene would be like some terror group would kill the Queen of Sheba in that concert because it's sponsored by the Queen of Sheba. So it's a scene where Tom Cruise and other top actors would stop the terrorists and would stop the bombs, thing like that. And there are a lot more beautiful scenes like showing the islands of the Philippines, the beaches, and where the gold is, gold mines in Mindanao, in Davao, Surigao, Butuan, all of that. So it's like about 3 hours movie. I thought it's going to be 3 hours and a half. It's really a big movie. It's really, star-studded, and that's why the budget is really big, you know. So